Okay, today I am ranking the biggest pre-workout companies out there and if their pre-workouts are good or not. So here we have the, Bucked Up Pre, Lit Pre, Ghost Pre, C4, Total War, Gorilla, Six Star, and Hyde. So those are the pre-workouts that I'm going to be ranking. So first of all, we obviously have the Bucked Up Pre. And first thing I saw, $55 and it has 348, making it the most expensive pre that I have ever seen and also the most expensive pre on this list. One of the most expensive pre's on this list, which is just bad overall. When you're buying a pre, you want something cheap. And if we look at the formula, it's an 11-gram formula, meaning there's not that much in it. I've seen pre-workouts with like about 20 grams or so. 11 grams, not that much. So first of all, citrulline malate, 4,000 citrulline. I think that's not enough. Beta alanine, 3,000. That's all right. Caffeine is like a lot. So you're gonna feel this pre-workout because of the caffeine and the beta alanine, but it's not gonna be anything good. Then we have alpha GPC, pretty good. Salt, taurine, could be a bit more. Overall, there are some good ingredients. Not too good of ingredients, but also I think the only thing that like pretty much defines this pre-workout is how expensive it is. So it's good ingredients, but it's we'll put it in C. If we had the choice, I'd put it lower, but let's put it in C. Then we move on to Lit pre-workout, and never in my life have I seen a pre-workout like this. But apparently it's big. And this one's not too expensive, but it's also not that cheap. So it's it's $38 for 400 grams, which is it's middle priced. I think we'd have to look at the ingredients first. So first of all, we obviously have them throwing in sodium and potassium, which is always funny because there's no real use of it. Maybe sodium, but not potassium as much. Then we have beta alanine at the same 3.2, creatine. You see, for creatine, oh no. Oh no. Okay, they put, yeah, this is really bad. As you can see here, they put 1.5 grams of creatine. So first of all, no real point of creatine in pre-workouts because that means you have to take the pre-workout every single day. So if you're looking at a pre-workout, I usually wouldn't buy the ones that have creatine in them because there's really no point of having creatine in there. Secondly, you're usually supposed to take 3 to 5 grams. 1.5 is not effective. So this is just a filler. There's no point of it. Then caffeine 250 is alright. This I'm not quite sure what these two are. And L-citrulline at 3 grams should be more. Again, lastly we have here arginine silicate. That one's actually good at a good dose. So that's alright, but this really brings it down. Also, it's 13 grams per serving and the price is middle range, so I'd put it probably above the Bucked Up Pre. B is fine. And then we have Ghost, and Ghost is pretty popular, I would say. If you pick the Ghost, I think the best one's probably Sour Patch because it's just iconic Sour Patch taste. But if we go to supplement facts, so for the price, I think price was okay for this one. Yep, Yeah. For this one, the price was amazing. Insanely cheap pre-workout, so that's already good. So pretty much it's $40, but it has, as you can see here, 645 grams, which is amazing. It truly is. And then we move on to supplements. Ingredients: 6,000, good. Beta alanine, also good range. Betaine anhydrous. Okay, for the betaine anhydrous, it's at a good dose, but as I suspected, I searched this up. It's not that good. There are much better ingredients that you could use, but this is at a good dose. Then we move on to this L-tyrosine, good dose, 2,000 L-tyrosine. I would say that's good. Taurine, 1,000, good dose, as we can see in the past one where it was like 100. It's just not good. Caffeine, 300. That's a lot of caffeine. I'll be honest. I usually would probably just stay at 200. If you use too much caffeine, it can start to get bad pretty quick, or you lose the sensitivity. Theobromine, I think that could be more, and fruit extract and all that. So overall, actually has some pretty good ingredients. Plus, it's insanely cheap. So I would have to put in S tier. I think this one was literally the cheapest. Okay, no, it's one of the cheapest, which is like amazing. Cheap, good ingredients. That's literally all you need. Then we move on to C4, and I think this one might be pretty bad. So yeah, price range. It's a little bit more expensive than the Lit. As per the ingredients, so again, it's 43 for what was it? 390 grams. And the ingredients are just they really couldn't do much better, right? Okay, so caffeine 150. This I would say is a bit too low, but if you're actually taking the whole scoop, which is okay, which is 6.6 grams, that's very little. I think that's probably fine, but one scoop is 6.6 grams. That's very little. I would like beta alanine, not enough. Creatine monohydrate, not enough. Plus, you don't need it. Arginine hydrochloride. It's an amino acid, which I think we could go without. So we don't even need that. And then we have tyrosine, which is again not enough. So pretty much to sum up this pre-workout, not enough of anything. So if you would be taking a scoop, you probably have to take like a triple scoop to have enough of something like caffeine, creatine, and beta-alanine, which is very bad. So not enough. So it's not that cheap and not good ingredients. I would even have to put it somewhere here. Yeah, because at least the Bucked Up Pre has some ingredients that are in good ranges. This one just doesn't have anything. Then we move on to Total War, and this one is 42 for 450, which is mid range in the price. So L-citrulline malate, 4,004 grams of citrulline is not ideal. I would like to see more. 3.2 grams is all right. Taurine is okay. Caffeine is okay. Dicaffeine is just more caffeine, pretty much. And theobromine could be a bit more. Green tea extract. Yes, I've seen that in some pre-workouts. This is pretty straight up. Pre-workout just has pretty basic things in it. But it is mid-range on the price. I probably put it before this. Yeah, that seems about right. Then we move on to Gorilla Mode, Gorilla Mind pre-workout, which is very overhyped, or it's very hyped. I would say it's overhyped. It is pretty good. So it's also one of the cheap. This one is the cheapest pre-workout. So it's 46 for 800 grams of pre-workout, which is a lot. So for this formula, as you can see here, 40 servings, and one serving is 20 grams, which is a lot. As we go through the things, so here we have citrulline, which is good range, creatine, and again they put Derek or More Plates More Dates. He actually put in creatine. So I suppose if you wanted to get in the good range, you would have to take 2 scoops, but I'm not sure why you would do that, but okay. I guess creatine is all right. L-tyrosine is all right. Definitely over the 1,000 mark that a lot of people put in. Betaine anhydrous, as we saw before, I guess you need a bit more of this. I would say 2,500 of it would probably be better. Sea salt, alpha GPC, caffeine, good range, huperzine A, which works together with alpha GPC, and literally the cheapest pre-workout out there. Amazing ingredients, amazingly cheap. This pre-workout is cheaper than a lot of other pre-workouts. There are some pre-workouts that you can find that are cheaper than this, but I can tell you the ingredients are not going to be better. Then we move on to 6-star pre-workout. Never in my life have I heard of them. In the price range, they're pretty expensive. They're pretty expensive. They're a bit more expensive than the middle. So the price is 210 grams for $24. And as we can see here, beta alanine not enough, beta anhydrous not enough. That's what we love to see. L-arginine, I think that's AKG. 300 to 600. So that's okay, but it's a mix with alpha. That's all right. And then we have a mixture of taurine, L-citrulline, L-citrulline malate, and L-arginine of 500, which they're literally not enough. So what this pretty much means is that all these ingredients are inside of 500 milligrams, which pretty much just means there's not enough of anything. Even if, let's say, L-citrulline was 500 grams, which is the whole mixture, it would not be enough. So this is pretty much useless. And then we have a mix of caffeine, anhydrous, and choline, biurate, and L-tyrosine. So it's 135 caffeine, which is not enough. And then we have the rest of 100 something in choline, biurate, and L-tyrosine, which is also not enough. I guess these people are trying to market to people who are not so educated, like other sport athletes. Really not that good. Plus, it's pretty expensive, so I would put it somewhere here. Somewhere here is fine. I think total war we can put there. Then we move on to Hyde, and the last one, and this one is the most expensive pre-workout in this list. So let's see if it matches up. It's 34 for 210 grams. That is very, very, very expensive. Let's see if it's worth it. So one scoop is 7 grams. Very little, very little. As you can see in the Gorilla Mind, it's One scoop is 20 grams, which means it's packed with ingredients. Here it's 7 grams. Strength mix, beta alanine, it's alright. Arginine silicate, which is 500, I think that's fine. It's just less fatigue. L-citrulline aspartate, which is not a form that I have seen, but it's also 500, which if it acts the same as L-citrulline, then this is severely not enough. Creatine HCI, that's an interesting one. Okay. Yeah, but it's not enough. So creatine basically breaks down faster, but it's not enough. 250 milligrams is not even close to being enough. You need 5 grams, by the way. Intensity matrix, choline bitrate. Choline bitrate is actually enough. And then we have a bunch of just very little amounts of everything, and caffeine 300. I like how these cheap, or actually more expensive but shit ingredients, pre-workouts, they put in just a lot of caffeine. So you feel energized, but there's not more blood going to your muscles, there's not more focus, there's not more anything. You just feel energized because you just fucking drank 4 coffees. One coffee is 75 milligrams of caffeine. This is 300. Of course you're gonna feel energized, but it's shit ingredients. And and there's more caffeine. So pretty much what dicaffeine means, it diffuses slower. So pretty much you're gonna have energy for a longer period of time. So there's 370 milligrams, and there's even more caffeine. So all this pre-workout pretty much is just you drinking like 6 coffees. 6 coffees. And then people pretty much come back to buy it again because they felt good because you drank 6 coffees, but it's really not that good. So a deceiving pre-workout actually. I would have to put it D. I'm sorry. But this is my list, pretty much. If you think different. But that's pretty much it. So see you in the next one.